Oh, excuse me, chum. Can you tell me where I can find a character by the name of Ginger Smart?
Oh, ha, ha, ha. Very funny. Blimey, pal, the things I do for you. You know, I never sunk as low as this, not even when I was inside. Oh, me knees. Got a good cure for housemaid's knees?
Don't take it to heart, Ginger. Mears tells me you're the best barman he's ever had.
He's been telling me that, too. He wants me to take on a job permanent here. You know what? He says give up snooping for you and lead a respectable life. Stone the crows. Respectable. If this is a respectable life, pal, you can give me the good old comfort of crime. Anyway, do you like a drink?
What, at this time in the morning?
What do you mean this time in the morning? We've got a special stock under here. We just keep it specially for serving out of hours. You wouldn't believe the excuses the local police make for popping in here before opening time.
Talking of coppers, how are you getting on with Wills?
Wills? Oh, we're getting along fine. We're just like that.
Getting anywhere?
Well, I don't know what you mean by getting anywhere. I know we haven't lost a thing since I've been here, except a few broken glasses, of course.
What about the other business?
Well, Wills and me, we've got our ideas, you know. Nothing definite to go on, just suspicion.
You heard about the latest job at Windsor?
I certainly have. Sergeant Telfer's been down here the last couple of days, putting his big fat feet into everything.
Oh, that's right. The super thinks he's got a line on the chap who's been doing all these jobs.
Yeah?
Someone was seen riding away on a bicycle after the Windsor job.
What makes you think it's down here?
Well, probably because you're down here. You know, the super thinks you and I are trying to get in on his racket.
No. Was that we do a thing like that?
Oh, he's as close as an oyster. There's something going on, though. They've been dragging the river at Windsor.
Yeah? What good do they think that's going to do them?
Well, keep your ears open. Telfer may have told Will something.
Yeah, that's Sergeant Telfer. Got a horrible feeling, you know, he don't trust me. Don't know why. But Will's, he's different. He's as innocent as a babe, honestly. If he knows anything, I'll get it out of him. Don't you worry. You leave it to me. Good
Cheers.
health. Cheers.
Blaming you, Wills, but we don't seem to be getting very far.
I wouldn't say that, sir. We've no direct evidence yet, I know, but I think something's going to happen, and soon.
About time, too. How do you get on with Ginger Smart?
Oh, well, like that, sir. I give him bits of information, nothing important, of course, just enough to make him think that I tell him everything. I believe he thinks I'm a bit of a fool, sir.
A lot of people think that. It's your big asset, you know.
Yes, sir.
Of course, if only I could find out what Carter and Smart were doing, I think we might be getting somewhere.
I don't think they know any more than we do, sir. If they did, I think I'd have got it out of Ginger by now. He may have been very good at opening safes, sir, but I think he's as innocent as a baby.
Oh, I wouldn't be too sure of that. Has Sergeant Telfer found their bicycle yet?
Not yet, sir, no. But there is one thing that may help. I haven't mentioned this to Sergeant Telfer yet, sir.
What's that?
There's a bookmaker in Lensbury, a fellow called Meredith. He's quite a character, as a matter of fact. He walks with a limp, the result of a war wound, I believe, and he never goes anywhere without one of those heavy walking sticks with a rubber ferrule on the end. You know, the kind that invalids use?
You come to the point, Wills.
Yes, sir. Well, last week, Meredith went to a local shop and he bought himself a new ferrule. He said that he'd lost the old one trying to stop a dog fight. Well, I wouldn't have thought anything of that. Only he happened to buy the new ferrule the morning after the Windsor job.
I think you may be onto something there. That's nice work, Wills.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. There is just one other thing, sir.
Yes, what is it?
I checked with the records office this morning. They looked up the records under housebreaking, and they've got a Williamson there who fits Meredith's description. He's about the same age, same height, same colouring. And he has been known to use the name Meredith.
And your Meredith never goes anywhere without a stick.
Exactly, sir.
Does he ride a bicycle?
I had thought of that, sir. No, he doesn't. He told me, casually, over a pint of beer, that if he had a bike, he couldn't ride it because of his gammy leg.
I wonder.
Yes, so do I, sir.
I better have a tail put in. I can't search the place. I haven't got enough evidence. Unless, yes. Superintendent Whitelaw here. Will you get me Inspector Smith at Windsor?
I had thought of that, sir.
You know, Wills, the trouble with you is you think too much.
Sorry, sir.
It's going to bring you promotion one of these days. Inspector Smith, Superintendent Whitelaw here. Look, have the River Boys found anything yet?
Mr. Jackson's farm, Georgina. What a nice name that, isn't it, eh? Oh, there's Mr. Jackson now. Good evening, Mr. Jackson. The usual, I suppose?
Oh, please, Charlie.
Okay. How are things? All right?
Oh, lost young Effa this morning.
Oh, that's too bad. How's that Sally, the sow you got? All right?
Oh,
There you are, boy. There we are. You, didn't go down to Windsor today then, Miss Meredith?
What do you mean?
The races.
There's no racing today?
No racing today? Well, I was looking at the racing. Well, how did I make a mistake like that? It's tomorrow. Of course it is. You, got any tips?
Well, let's know what you fancy first.
Oh, I'm not a racing man, really. I usually pick 'em out with a pin, but there's one here that struck me. I'm rather keen on it. Look, Fly By Night.
Keep away from that if I were you.
Yeah? It's funny, I was thinking of backing it rather heavily.
You'll lose your money.
You know best.
I wouldn't want you to get into trouble. Well, there you are, Charlie. Keep the change. Plenty more where that came from.
Oh, thanks.
evening, Sergeant.
Oh, good evening, sir. The inspector's in his office.
Oh, fine. How's the wife?
Oh, came out of hospital yesterday, sir. Both doing very well.
Good. Give her that from me, will you?
Huh. Thank you, sir. Ah, fancy him remembering.
Inspector, I'd just like to go through these facts again. There's no point in my asking you if you went through that house thoroughly.
No, I don't think we missed anything. I swear there wasn't a print anywhere.
Now, he must have got in that landing window.
Yes, sir, but I'm afraid there were no marks at all there.
No. Well, if you were right and it was the fellow on the bicycle,
Yeah.
how did he get up to the first floor?
Well, that's what beats me. I'd have said a stack pipe, but they were around at the back. And, well, if you use a ladder, I suppose you've got to have some marks on the ground. Besides, you can't carry a ladder away on a bicycle without somebody noticing.
That's true. We don't seem to be getting very far.
No, sir. Apart from that broken window and, well, the marks on the paint where he'd broken open the catch, there isn't a sign that anyone broke into that house. Oh, except for one thing.
Yes, what's that?
There's a stone cornice running around to the front of the house, just below window level. It's just been newly painted. Well, I noticed a small circular mark where the paint had been worn away, just about the size of a shilling.
Did it mean anything to you?
No, sir, I can't see how it can help.
That's true. Have the River Boys brought up anything here?
No, sir, they've been at it for a long time now. If they were going to find anything, it ought to have been up by now. There you are. Can't beat the old wallop, can you?
Thank you, Charlie.
Here, why don't I have a bit of standard ease? What about a bit of cheese before it walks away?
No, not for me. I know where he comes from.
I don't know what's the matter with the cheese, but nobody seems to want to have it around here. There we are. Oh, good evening, sir.
Evening, Charlie. Well, here we are again. How's the market today, Jackson?
Oh, so-so. Market's always a bit slow this time of the year. Farming ain't what it were, Mr. Meadows.
You farmers are never satisfied.
The usual?
No. Didn't I see a bottle of vodka up there the other day?
Vodka up here? Vodka? Wait a minute, don't tell me anybody drinks that stuff except the Russians. You want some, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, we got some very strange things up here. Oh, here's one, here's a very... What about this coin trio? Benedictini? Here, Advocat, how would you like that?
No, to the right.
To the right, what's this? Oh, no, it says green chartreuse.
No, you're right, Charlie.
What do you mean? Oh, you mean army right? Oh, here we are, this is it. Ah, the old vodka. Well, what do you know about that? After all that trouble, it's empty. Old Khrushchev must have been in here during the night.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter, Brad. Give me a gin.
The old Errol Flint?
Yeah.
Right.
Good evening, Mr. Meadows. I hoped I find you here.
Oh, Will, sir. Haven't seen you for days.
No, I've been in London.
You're too noisy for me these days. I prefer the peace of the country. Well, what can I do for you?
Oh, it's only a small matter. I want to trace a bookmaker named of Meredith. I wondered if you knew him.
Meredith? No, I don't know the name. But then I'm not a betting man.
Oh, perhaps you've seen him around. He's about medium build, walks with a limp, carries a stick.
Oh, now you describe him. Yes, I have seen him getting around the street. Yes, often wondered who he was. What's the name?
Meredith.
Meredith. Well, I must remember it in case I want to bet at any time.
Oh, well, if you don't know him, sir, I suppose you can't really help me.
No, I'm afraid I can't. Can I buy you a drink?
No, thanks, I'm on duty.
Ah, yes, of course, you're very particular about that, you policeman. Well, perhaps some other time, eh? There we are. I must be getting along. Good night, all. Good night. Good night, Jason.
Night, sir.
Good night. No, he didn't stay long, did he? Here, wait a minute. Where is it?
What?
The cheese. Look, the cheese, it's gone.
Windsor Police. Yes, madam. And the address? Yeah. Well, I'll ask our officer to call tomorrow morning. Not at all, madam. Where are you going, Dix?
Inspector inside.
Yes, he's engaged with the super. You'll have to wait. Maybe hours yet.
Nothing doing, Sarge. My orders to report immediately anything's found in the river.
Oh, hello, Dix. What do you got there?
They pulled this out of the river, sir. I thought I'd better bring it up at once.
Good, put it down here. Well, no wonder it sank, sir. Here, take a feel.
Something wrong here. What is it? Some kind of a sword stick? Let's have a look. I'm sure this comes off this end here.
That's it.
Good heavens. Why didn't I think of that? It's a sort of tubular stick, and bolts fit in here
Yeah.
to make a kind of ladder.
And I suppose he hung the crook of the stick on the most convenient ledge and just walked up.
That would account for the mark on the cornice made by the end of that. God, I could kick myself for not thinking of that.
Oh, thank you, Dix.
Tell the river boys I'll think of later. Inspector Smith? Oh, hang on a minute. Someone for you, sir. Where is it? Superintendent Whitelaw speaking.
Oh, that you, John? I've got some news for you. You know, I've been down at Lensbury investigating those petty thefts of the cheddar cheese. Well, there's been another one. A cheese stolen off the counter, right under Ginger's nose.
Look, I've got bigger things than that on my plate. What do you want me to do? Call out the flying squad?
Oh, if you think it's worth it, but I thought you ought to know that the man who took it was our old friend, Henry Dixon Meadows.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm Detective Constable Wills. I got your message. I believe you've something to show me.
Oh, yes. You remember you asked me to let you know about any trousers that came in for cleaning, whether there was anything unusual in the turn-ups?
Yes, that's right. You found something?
I'll show you. Look for yourself.
Yes. Yes, most interesting.
You mean that's what you wanted to find?
Yes, it's just what it was. May I say that you're a very bright young lady?
Oh, thank you. It is glass, isn't it?
Yes, that's just what it is. Now, who brought these in?
I'm not sure I ought to tell you. We're not supposed to discuss our customers' private affairs.
Quite right, too, but I'm sure you wouldn't like me to charge you with being an accessory after the fact, now would you?
Well, could you do that? Might be rather funny, really, being arrested by you.
There's nothing funny about being concerned in a crime.
Oh, you being serious? Sorry, I'm sure. Here's my copy of the receipt I gave the customer. Name and address is on it.
Mm-hmm.
I say you won't tell him I told you, will you?
We always keep the sources of our information to ourselves, especially when they're as good-looking as you.
Oh, I say you are a one. I bet you say that to all the girls you meet.
I shouldn't wonder. Well, thanks for the information. I expect you'll be getting a letter from my supervisor, my superintendent, that is. You'll be able to frame it and show it to your grandchildren, won't you? Goodbye.
Bye.
Sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Carter. Is there something I can do for you?
I'm a private inquiry agent, Mr. Meadows. I've been retained by the landlord of the cheddar cheese to investigate certain thefts which have taken place recently from the saloon bar.
Is that so?
Yesterday evening, a cheese was stolen from the bar.
Did you say a cheese?
A cheese, a small round Wessex cheese. Mr. Mears always keeps one on the counter.
Oh, yes, yes. Now you mention it. I remember seeing a cheese in the bar. Who took it?
I thought you might be able to give me some information.
Me? I hope you're not suggesting I took it.
Well, you were in the saloon bar yesterday evening. I thought you might be able to tell me something that would help me in my investigation.
Investigation seems a big word for tracing a tuppenny halfpenny cheese.
Stealing is stealing, Mr. Meadows, whether it's tuppence or £2,000.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I see what you mean. Well, I'm afraid I can't help you. In fact, I'm not sure that I remember whether there was a cheese there yesterday evening.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Meadows. I'm very grateful to you for answering my questions. Oh, by the way, there is one more thing. You've got a bicycle.
Bicycle? Yes, there's one in the garden shed, but I haven't ridden it for years. It must be in pretty bad condition.
Do you think I could have a look at it?
Have you any authority for doing so?
No, Mr. Meadows, I haven't.
Then I'm afraid I must say no. In fact, I consider your questions highly impertinent. I'm not sure I shouldn't kick you out of the house.
I'll save you the trouble. Oh, but if you should remember anything about the cheese, it might be as well to let me know before it becomes a matter for the police.
It's all very well, Mr. Carter, but why on earth should he want to steal a cheese?
We don't know he has, at least not until Ginger returns.
Set a thief to catch a thief, eh?
Oh, Ginger wouldn't like to hear that, you know. He really is a reformed character now. Still, he hasn't lost his knack of picking locks.
Oh, that's what he's up to, is he?
Mr. Meadows keeps a bicycle in his shed.
A bicycle or the bicycle?
Well, let's say the bicycle, for argument's sake.
Hello, is this a private party or somebody going to buy me a drink?
I thought you served the beer in this establishment.
No, it's my day off. Landlord, large scotch, please.
Coming, sir.
Coming, sir. He thinks I'm a gentleman.
Well, come on, Ginger, out with it.
Well, is this copper in the know?
Yes, I've just told him.
What do you want to do? Get me 10 years or something? You can't trust these young techs, you know. All they want is promotion.
Look, Ginger, if you don't tell us what you know...
All right, take it easy. What's the rush? First things first. That's my motto. Ah, there you are, my man. You may keep the change.
You wait till tomorrow, my lad. I'll have you scrubbing the floors before breakfast.
Oh, dear. Cheers. Very thirsty work, you know, picking padlocks. Don, we were right.
You found the bicycle?
I certainly did, and it's the one we're looking for, all right. It's got the clips on the crossbar, you know, to hold the stick, and, of course, the light's on the wrong side.
And the cheese?
Oh, that was there. That was in the saddlebag. Even if I hadn't known where it was, I'd have smelled it a while off.
Well done, Ginger. Well, what do you do now?
I've half a mind to run Ginger in for breaking and entering.
Oh, by the way, Don, there is, you know, could I have the night off? There's a bit of a whist drive on down at the village hall. I thought I might go down and get myself a prize or two.
Well, you better leave me those, or you might be getting yourself some trouble.
I thought safes were your speciality.
You must always have a second string to your bow, as my old friend William Tell used to say. Well, Don, what about it?
Okay, Ginger, off you go and have a bit of fun.
Thanks, pal.
Not having the king, partner?
I beg your pardon? What are you talking about? Well, Stoner Crows, what about me? I must be going mad.
So it seems.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, dear. Well, better late than never.
Not when it's going to be Trump.
What?
Oh, the rest are yours. Thank you, partner. I assume this is the first time you've ever played this game.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, my friends. Now, while the stewards are collecting your cards, I should like to say just a word about the very worthy cause whose presence you are supporting by your presence here tonight. Now, the Prisoners' Aid Society exists to support all those poor unfortunates who, by force of circumstance or their own foolish nature, have landed in the hands of the law. But we must not blame them too much, for who knows under what different circumstances which one of us could resist the temptation if it came our way.
Here, here.
However, I am delighted to be able to tell you now that by your whist drive tonight, I shall be able to send to the Society a cheque for £6, 4 shillings and 3 pence, which may enable some poor fellow now languishing in jail to lead an honest and upright life in the future. Thank you. But now I know you haven't come here to listen to me.
Here, here.
And now I am able to tell you who is going to take home these magnificent prizes tonight. First prize, a fine portable wireless set donated anonymously by the Cooper brothers in the High Street, goes to Mrs. Meadows and Mrs. Meredith.
Well, what a turn up for the books.
We have reason to believe that you've been involved in a number of recent burglaries in this neighborhood. Would you care to tell me how these particles of glass came to be on the turn-ups of your trousers?
Yes, certainly. I broke a tumbler in the pub the other day. They must have got in my trousers. What a suspicious lot you coppers are.
Do you deny that you were in Windsor on the night of the 22nd?
I do.
Or that you were in Richmond on the 3rd?
Haven't been near Richmond this year.
Or that you ever ridden a bicycle with the rear light on the near side?
Now listen, I was wounded in the leg in the war. I couldn't ride a bike if I wanted to.
Do you know a man named Meadows? Henry Meadows?
Oh, I've seen his name in the papers. I may have seen him at some local do or rather. He's quite a big shot in these parts, you know, but I never met him, never spoken to him.
And you still say that these pieces of glass came from a broken tumbler?
I do. And if you can prove other than that, you'll be lucky.
Possibly, sir. But I wouldn't bank on it if I were you.
I've got the report from the laboratory here, sir. They've analysed samples of the glass taken from the broken window at Windsor and from a tumbler similar to the one that Meredith said he broke in the pub. There's no doubt about it, sir. The glass from Meredith's trousers is from the Windsor job.
Yeah. What about the tubular stick?
Well, he's got an attic in Lensbury equipped as a workshop, equipped for metalwork, too. I think he could have made it himself.
Any trace of the stolen article?
I turned the house upside down, sir. There's nothing that can't be accounted for as either his or Mrs. Meredith's. I've got an idea about that, sir.
Yes, what's that?
I think it's Meadows who disposes of the stuff.
If I hear that name, Meadows again. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but neither you or Sergeant Telfer have established any connection between these two men. Either they knew each other or ever met.
Well, it's bicycle, sir.
Yes, but I've traced his whereabouts on the night of the Windsor and the Richmond jobs, and he couldn't have possibly been in either place.
Couldn't Meredith have borrowed the bike?
He can't ride a bike. He's got a gammy leg. He was wounded in the war.
He wasn't in the war, sir. In 1939, he was a capstan lathe operator. That was a reserved occupation. He worked in a factory until 1946, and when he left there was nothing wrong with his leg at all.
But Sergeant Telfer told me that... But we've still got to prove they knew each other and he had a chance to borrow the bike.
Well, I'm on to that now, sir. I suppose I couldn't search Meadows' house, eh?
No, you couldn't. I haven't got enough evidence for a warrant.
Except the cheese.
Yeah. Fine mess you made of that, too, didn't you? Letting a couple of amateur detectives get in before you and finding the thing had gone before you even got there.
I wouldn't call Mr. Carter an amateur, sir.
Ah, it seems to me that you and Telfer were the amateurs. Superintendent Whitelaw.
Oh, good morning, Super. I'm down at Lensbury again. I've got a little more information for you.
Well, what is it?
Well, it may not be very important, but Ginger went to a whist drive last night, and the first prize was won by two ladies, Mrs. Meredith and Mrs. Meadows.
Come in.
Mrs. Scott.
Oh, won't you sit down, madam?
Thank you.
I'm Inspector Smith. I'm in charge of the investigations into the burglary at your home the other month.
Have you caught them?
We have reason to believe that we may soon do so, and I've asked you along this morning because we found one or two articles that I think you may be able to identify. Do you recognize anything there?
Yes, this is ours. It belongs to my husband. He will be pleased to have it back again.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed, Mrs. Scott. Well, I'll have to ask you to make a statement identifying the articles. It won't take a minute. Now, your name again?
Quite a deputation. Can I help you, gentlemen?
I'm Superintendent Whitelaw of Scotland Yard. This is Sergeant Telfer. I believe you know Mr. Meredith.
I haven't had that pleasure.
Oh, come off it, Dickie. We're both in this together and you know it. They've had a word with my missus.
Indeed?
I went to Mr. Meredith's house and examined certain articles, which his wife claimed belonged to herself or her husband. As a result of that, I've asked her to go to the police station and explain why she identified a diamond brooch as hers, when in fact we know it was stolen from a house in Windsor a few days ago. I'd be glad if you would do the same.
I don't understand.
Don't you? That's a nice piece, sir. Is it Georgian?
What the devil?
Is it yours?
Yes, of course it's mine. Where did you...
But you thought it had been stolen, didn't you?
Where did you get it?
Shall we say that we recovered it from the thief? Perhaps you'll be good enough to tell me where you got it. But before you do that, I must warn you that anything you say will be taken down and may be given in evidence.
What are you charging me with?
The theft of a cheese from the cheddar cheese at Lensbury. That'll do for a start.
See why he did such a darn silly thing as stealing that cheese.
Oh, he stole other things too, sir. It was Sergeant Telfer who recognized him with a little help from me.
Well, let's have it.
Well, records had a photograph of a man called Dickie Field. He wasn't a bit like our man until I put a beard on with paint and took some of his hair out. I do a bit of painting in my spare time, sir. You never know when these things may come in useful.
Dickie Field. I don't know why we didn't think of it. Calls himself Henry Dixon Meadows and we're all taken in. Didn't his counsel say that he was a kleptomaniac?
That's the whole point, sir. Even while he was doing these big jobs and cleaning up thousands a night, he just couldn't keep his fingers off the little things.
Not even off a bit of cheese.
Here's your card, Mr. Smart.
Oh, what, really, after all I've done for you?
Well, I'd like to make you a small presentation.
I say, Mr. Mears, this is very nice.
Here, have this cheese.
Look after it for me. How about some drinks on the house, eh?
Here, half of
You
it.
can have one.